Hi, welcome to The Book and His Boss. I'm Pat Caputo, sports columnist for the Oakland Press. This is Jeff Kuehn, my boss. He's the sports editor. We're here every week at the oaklandpress.com and at micentral.com. Go to Blog Central. And you know what, Jeff? I got to tell you something. The Pistons situation went from, boy, it looked like everything was going great. Everything was fine. Then all of a sudden they fall behind 20-3 in game one, and Chauncey Billups does the splits like an Olympic gymnast. And all of a sudden their situation looks tenuous. There's something about this team that never makes it easy. But this could be something that really hurts them a great deal. Chauncey Billups, heart and soul of that team.
This is significant. This is like losing your quarterback. It's like you losing Lidstrom. It's the one guy you can't afford to lose. It's the one matchup in this series the Pistons were exploiting. They were taking advantage of this Jameer Nelson, and they looked way out of sync the rest of that game.
Well, the funny thing about it is I have a theory about the Pistons. Everybody talks about the big four. I think it's the big two within the big four. I think it's Rasheed Wallace and Chauncey Billups. Tayshaun Prince in game one had 22 points. Richard Hamilton had 24 points. Rodney Stuckey played very well. Right. 19 points, 9 points in the second quarter. But Rasheed Wallace didn't play well. Billups was hurt. When you have the combination of the two not playing well, Pistons have no chance. It doesn't matter who they're playing.
Well, it's important. Game 4 Saturday night. The good thing he gets an extra day to rest. And he's questionable now, according to Dana Garuti, our Pistons beat writer, who you can also read at NBA Nuggets on Blog Central. But we'll see. Saturday, hopefully he plays. And if they win Saturday night, come home 3-1, and then we're talking who would you rather play, Boston or Cleveland?
Yeah, well, and it'll be interesting. I kind of want to see him play Cleveland. I think there's a rivalry developing there. But the other part of it is most of the country wants to see Boston.
Right.
So we'll see how that all works out. Now, the Tigers, their team weird. They won 3 games in a row in New York. They beat the Yankees for the first time in the sweep since 1966. Now, so they go to Minnesota and their whole world falls apart. Now, Jeff, I'm down there. I'm talking to Jim Leland. I'm trying to ask him some questions in his office before the game the other day, and he's all over the place. He's obviously distressed by the Tigers' performance.
Aren't we all? We expected them to be 40 or 35-5 by now, and it just hasn't happened. But they found a way to win last night, albeit luck of the bat breaking or whatever.
Well, they got a lot of lucky hits the other day. Yeah, against Boston, that game they won. They got a lot of breaks in that game.
But you know what? That magic's been missing this year. So any way you can get this thing jump-started, I mean, that was good to see. But there's a lot of problems with this team, Pat, as you've pointed out many times to us.
Well, it seems like they got a lot of talent, tons of talent, but they're a collection of talent, not a quote-unquote team.
Right.
They don't. And I know baseball is not a continuous game like hockey and basketball and football, where somebody blocks for you or set picks or you pass the ball to each other, but they just don't play well. They don't pick each other up. There's something missing here. I think almost they might be too complacent and comfortable because they all have guaranteed salaries.
Right. Baseball is weird in that it's very contagious. One guy starts getting hot and it goes on down through the lineup. As you see with Boston, Boston's tearing the cover off the ball.
Yeah, but Boston's got a perfectly balanced team between youth and experience, and their farm system's rated second best in baseball by Baseball America, so they're terrific. Controversy in the world of horse racing, the Kentucky Derby, a great, Big Brown winning it. I like the Triple Crown events and enjoy watching them. They really look good in high definition television. Really good, the Kentucky Derby. But the race comes, 8 Bells finishes second, breaks both of its ankles or fractures them or whatever, is euthanized, and there's all this controversy about being a brutal sport. Now, this is not the first time somebody's broken their leg and been euthanized, and we've seen it before where they've kept the horse alive when it almost seemed inhumane. It's like if something happens with your dog or something and you have it put down to put it out of its suffering. I didn't see where what they did was wrong. I know it's shocking and horrifying, and horses are beautiful animals and God's creatures, but that horse wouldn't have been able to stand. So how could you have kept it alive? So what is the big issue with this?
Well, I don't know I only know from a personal standpoint. I mean, I grew up by Detroit Racecourse in Livonia and worked a couple summers helping a guy train horses. These things are beautiful animals, Pat. They're born to run. And it's not like you and I, we go to bed and we lie down at night. These things have to be on their feet 24 hours a day. That horse couldn't be on its feet. Was it inhumane to put it down? No. Was it inhumane to race it? No. The horse is born to run. That's what they're bred for. This horse was huge. It was 17 hands high, which is bigger than War Admiral was. We all know the story behind War Admiral and Seabiscuit.
Personally, I preferred Man of War.
It was a big horse. But yeah, the big thing is, Big Brown, I think, is legit. Big Brown is a horse that has a legitimate chance to finally win a Triple Crown. But yeah, of course it was sad to see what happened to 8 Bells. But, that's part of the sport. That's what these people are
Well, I hope one good thing comes from it. There's a lot of debate about the dirt tracks and whether they should use softer synthetic tracks to maybe take some of the pressure off of the joints and bones of these animals. And that would be good. That's the one good thing that comes of it. I hope it doesn't ruin the sport because people maybe overreact to it. And in my opinion, it is an overreaction. I know a lot of people feel the other way. It's not that you don't feel for the animal, but I didn't want to see a suffering animal alive either. I mean, it did take the luster off of whatever fun it is for those 2 minutes. But anyway, that's the book and his boss. Don't forget to check out our blogs. We got a great blog section now. Jim Hawkins is writing a baseball blog. Our excellent Tiger writer has been doing it for a long time. Dave Burkett, who he talked about, has done some great stuff with the Lions. You can also check out some of his videos. We also have Paula Passion, our Big Ten insider, and of course Dana the Scooter Garuder and his Piston Nuggets. And Bruce McLeod, who does our Red Wing coverage, does a terrific job.
Add 2 more on there. We've got Dave Pemberton starting one for high school sports with Pemberton's Point. Look for that soon. Matt Miftu is doing Beyond NASCAR, and I know there are a lot of NASCAR fans out there.
And don't forget Keith Cosmo. When's Cosmo coming up?
Cosmo, but look for him towards football season.
We got Cosmo's coming up. So we got a lot of stuff going on at the OaklandPress.com. Don't forget to check it. We'll talk to you next week.